That can't be right. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, September the 26th, as we head into the month end, quarter end, marking end, who knows what end. In the meantime, it's been a wild ride, and of course, this update is brought to you by our new friends and partners and sponsors of Strategic Wealth Preservation. That is where I do all my physical metal shopping, gold, silver, platinum, and they also do storage as well. Check them out, swpcayman.com/Bubba-trading. That's Sierra Whiskey Papa, Charlie Alpha Yankee, Michael Alpha November.com/Bubba-trading. And, as we look back at the week and we see a lot of things and we hear the words that can't be right, or is this time different? And, you can look at many different asset classes and say, hey, that isn't right. And, remember that the markets are always right. And, we've got things going on. You've got some hoarding in the UK of gasoline as they approach their winter of discontent. This is a problem that is going to start to appear everywhere as we continue to see the imbeciles in charge of energy and, of course, the shortages that we will start to see. You've got the massive natural gas rally, which continues. And, of course, the pricing in Europe is at sickening levels of where it should be. But again, you've got these very bad policies, especially right here in the good old US of A. Thank you, President Biden and staff, for sticking it to Americans with every turn as we look and prepare for the new tax plan and everything else that is going to destroy this country as we know it. And, you've got the action in the vaccine world where Italy is now telling employers do not pay your unvaccinated employees, so they should work for nothing or get vaccinated. And, it's sad when we look at the problems. And again, I don't know. I am not an expert. I am not a scientist. I am not a disease specialist. But I do know that, you can't expect everybody to run and to get vaccinated, and you can mandate it all you want. And, there's going to be a number of counterfeit proofs, the cards that you need to show that you are vaccinated. This is going into HIPAA and all other kinds of regulations. And look, again, if it's best for the country, certainly get vaccinated. But you have too many studies that are counter to every other study, which means that nobody knows what is going on. Okay. But we do have a major shortage in gas, oil, and other supplies, which is creating a problem in the fertilizer industry, which is causing shortages for farmers. And of course, not only the shortages, but the costs, the prices that they pay. But of course, the Fed continues to deny any amount of inflation exists, and we continue to be, lied to by everybody about what is actually happening. But as you see, the cost of freight from China to the U.S., a container used to be about $2,000. They're now about $25,000, and of course, who's going to pay for that, right? It's not going to be Walmart or Target or the company are going to pay for it. We, the citizens, the customers, are going to pay for it because we pay for everything. But God forbid we should allow, the oil to be shale produced in this country. God forbid we should let, we should stop the stimulus packages and let people go back to work because, of course, restaurants can't get open because they don't have people to work. So you have the drive-through to go through, which is you could die in line waiting at a drive-through. So it's a wonderful atmosphere that is being created by this administration. Okay, and as you know, I'm a fan of neither. Okay, but this one is in control now, and they are trying to destroy every American's dream of what they can do, because they want to continue to feed them a bunch of bullshit with nothing, and continue to pacify or create turbulence. Okay, nothing more than what the squad, the American haters who are in power, okay, the squad, AOC and the group, who would love to destroy this country, okay, of freedom and what we have. So we're getting into these situations that could have been easily evolved and never taken place. We were getting into these positions where we could have a great setup going forward, but again, you continue to have the climate discussion. The climate's got nothing to do with the population is doubled. Okay, we forget that you pass gas, you are polluting the environment. Okay, so maybe we have too many people. Okay, you can look at this any way you want, but America is as green as it can be, and it cannot get to the levels that they want because we couldn't support it anyways. First of all, we're not ready with the technology, number one. Number two, we don't have a power grid that can support what they're trying to do. But in the meantime, they are destroying the lives of many, and they are destroying the American way. And through it all, they are taking away our power as a leading nation in the world. And of course, they're handing it on a silver platter to China, the biggest offender of human rights, and of course, the biggest polluter, along with India. Okay, but God forbid, let's give it over to China. Okay, because China has their 100-year plan, and of course, we have this wokeism being given up about everything that is wrong in this country. Okay, and I think that China is helping promote that as they promoted the COVID. Okay, but again, they're winding up the people to continue to have them melt down, and you're seeing that all it's really doing is handing over the power to a communist regime. Okay, that again has the biggest or is the biggest offender of human rights, and so far, the wealthy, the athletes, the movie studios, they will never open their mouths about China because, of course, the amount of money they generate from there. And this is where you end up with the real problem, okay, where the middle class always gets tortured because the extremely wealthy will be wealthy whether we're socialism or not. Okay, it is the middle class that will be punished the worst and have the biggest change in their life. But let's let China have control, okay, and not take care of our business. These are things that have been accumulating and building, and it will create social unrest. It will create a revolutionary war once again. You can bet on it because people are not going to tolerate it, and it is going to create a very big disturbance. And I think it's brewing, very much like the markets. It's brewing to do something big, and the more you push, the more you have an opportunity of an explosion. And I think that is really where you're headed if you continue at the pace of the destruction of freedom. And each and every week there is something new that comes along that they try to take away our freedom as they already take away our money. You can look at the value of the dollar, okay, and what it's done since the Fed has been instituted. And of course, now the Fed has become nothing more than a political arm of the government, whichever party is in power. And Jerome Powell, he's not going to do anything here. He wants to be reappointed. Okay, so as I've said many times before, the Fed people, the governors, they may be smart, they may be educated, but when they become members of the Fed, they instantly become morons with no common sense and no idea how to run or work an economy. Okay, and of course, you've got the stable coins and the government crackdown on that. Okay, but we're going to get more into that in our commentary today with cryptocurrencies. But again, it is another way of trying to stamp out free America. Okay, everything that is being done with the idea of creating and taking away freedom of Americans. And of course, let's not talk about the climate shakedown coming. You know, as they allow China to be bigger polluters, okay, and allow them to increase their carbon emission while we try to decrease. Now, again, I have told you, and I've said this many times right here on this show, okay, that the two biggest populations, which make up over 70% of the globe, are never going to stop using coal. They're never going to stop polluting because it's too cheap. Okay, and I'm not saying that we should be using coal and adding to the pollution in this country. I'm saying that we should have done it at a slower pace, because all we've really done between Obama and the coal and Biden and the energy, all we really did was destruct hundreds of thousands of jobs and the lives of those people that were working it, especially in the coal miners, because coal miners didn't have the education, and they shut them down without notice, without warning, which means that they were not educated enough to go out and get another job. Okay, so, and they did the very same thing now in the oil fields by shutting them down. Okay, so not only are we paying double for our gas and fertilizer and oil and everything else we do, okay, we have a lot more unskilled, unemployed people that cannot work in the open jobs because they don't want to take a pay cut because they were making very nice money when they were dealing in the world of shale producing, because those were big, huge jobs that the real estate markets in those states were packed. Some people drove 100 miles to go to work every day. So we've got a beautiful thing going on here, and it looks like it's the impending disaster is coming. And you've got a great combination of a president that doesn't know where he is, with some very powerful Congress people that are American haters, okay, and that really only want your money for themselves. This is Bubba's Bottom Line, Todd Bubba Horowitz, and as always, I thank you for being here. And of course, remember, we are sponsored, so this show is brought to you by, we've got a couple of brokerage partners, and as I remind you, I always have more brokers myself. Okay, I'm recommending these two for the services that we have and for my members, because I have vetted them, I use them myself, and I think they are the best for what we do. And so, but remember, I do have others, but I do believe in the two that I'm going to tell you about. And the first one is going to be the Capital Trading Group, which is who we use for futures and commodities. And it's very simple. Okay, the futures industry, as you might imagine, is a shrinking industry like many others, and the firms are the customer service is getting worse and worse. Well, CTG has the best, and they answer the phone. You call, you got a problem, they're going to answer the phone. You don't get stuck for days on end waiting. Okay, they're the only firm that I've authorized for my letter of direction trading. They trade all of my accounts, and they've got great futures products on their own. So you want to check them out, please do. Go to info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. That's info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. And our futures and options broker is Tradier. Okay. Now, again, I shouldn't have to go farther than telling you that it's $10 a month, because at that much, you are saving enough for your IRA to put money in your IRA every year. Now, if you don't care about saving money, hey, good for you. Okay, but for me, it saves me 5 figures a month, and I'm happy to use them. They do a great job. They get great service. Plus the fact now we have their APIs, which allows us to automate your portfolio that in our the membership portfolios that we have of equities. can be automated through Trader if you want, and there's no cost. It is part of your membership, and Trader doesn't charge for it. So it's still $10 a month. They have automation if you choose, and of course, our hedging program costs extra because it's a program. But again, we have the opportunity and the ability to do both for you. Okay, but that is Trader Your Brokerage, and it's try.trader.com/Bubba. That is try.trader.com/Bubba. And of course, farmers, I'm a big advocate of the farmers, and I love to help. And of course, I think Family Farms Group is very much and very similar to us. We have the same goals, and they want to help you take a lot of the load off your mind of these things that you don't want to do that have nothing to do with producing capital and producing money. And so you're going to check out Family Farms. Go to familyfarmsgroup.com/Bubba-trading. That's familyfarmsgroup.com/Bubba-trading. And of course, our commodity report is the quarterlies start getting ready to come out, and Andy Heck's writing feverishly. But when you see the work that this man does, 40 years in the commodities industry, has traveled worldwide, traded physical as well as off the board, ran the biggest firms in the world. You got to check it out. And if you're a commodities trader not using this, shame on you. But you can go to BubbaTrading.com and get signed up for Technomental. And of course, our high school program at Patreon, patreon.com/Bubba-trading. That's patreon.com/Bubba-trading. Now let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and, of course, our market update. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, September the 26th. And isn't the Ryder Cup exciting? In the meantime, this part of the update is brought to you by our friends at Trader Brokerage. And check them out. $10 a month. Auto trading if you want. I've got other brokers, but try.trader.com/Bubba. That is try.trader.com/Bubba. And well, what a difference from last week and from Monday of this week until, the Friday. I mean, think about it. Markets looked like the end of the world was coming on Friday and Monday, and suddenly the rally began, and here we were back up. And by the end of the week, markets were higher, marginally higher across the board. Okay, Dow, S&P, NASDAQ, and Russell. Now, our positions, we stand with long the S&P, long the NASDAQ, short the Dow, short the Russell. Okay, so that has not changed. So we're still net long. And of course, even those spreads are longer than we are shorter. Okay, but again, I think you're going to see in the fourth quarter, I think we're going to see a huge move, and I think it's going to be 20-25%, and I don't think it can be up. But again, I'm going to continue to follow the algorithms as I do. So we are, again, long two, short two. The precious metals, which I said that can't be right, and every once in a while the price of gold isn't higher, and we get the complaints about the manipulators and this and that. Look, a market takes two sides, okay? So if the manipulators are selling it and trying to push it lower, they've got to find buyers. If the buyers would step away, they could get it down real cheap, and then we could really all buy it and accumulate it. But in the meantime, they look horrible, okay? Manipulated or not. Gold, silver, and platinum looks better, but gold, okay, is we're short, and we had a down week. Silver managed to take out the flash crash lows, okay, and it looks like it's going south for a while longer, and we're still short. Platinum we don't trade anymore. We would be long, actually. It did have a nice bounce this week. But I would suspect gold is going to take out those flash crash lows too, and back in the 1600s. So I think you've got some serious damage here. And at the end of the day, remember, you might think it can't be right, but the market is always right. Crude oil, yeah, thank you, Joe Biden. I'm happy I'm paying twice as much for gas. I'm happy we have no pipeline. God forbid I should have get any help, But yeah, let's give more stimulus. In the meantime, we're still long crude, and it's spiked much higher again this week, getting near 74. On natural gas, thank you again, President Biden. We've got natural gas at ridiculous levels at this time of year, and now we're going into season. So we could really see, depending on the weather, you could really see some pricey natural gas, which is not good for anybody, okay, especially because we have an overabundance here just sitting, waiting to be taken. But again, let's pay more for it. It makes sense. Copper, had an up week, but we're short, okay. The bonds and notes, okay, were lower. Now, this is another big key to take a look at. Interest rates are rising quietly. The 10 years back to 1.4. Now we are short 10 years and still long the 30. Okay, we reverse back and forth this week, but interest rates are starting to climb. When you see the futures going down, okay, that means interest rates are going up, and rising interest rates, they could have a pretty serious effect, because we've got a lot of issues, and we have so much debt that is being created because when they buy bonds, they're borrowing money, okay, and that means our rate of payment has not ours, but the government's rate of payment, which is us. Okay. So, anyways, we're still long the 30, short the 10, and the dollar is pushing up towards new highs again, and we are, of course, long dollars. I lost my mind for a minute here. Bitcoin got clobbered last week. Okay, now look, it's not a surprise. Let's not be foolish and think it doesn't happen. Let's remember that the crypto space is extremely volatile, and it is extremely manipulated. Okay, and when you know that the federal government is trying to mandate it, because why? Because they want to continue to control and be able to put more money in the system, which we were going to cover in our commentary today. In the meantime, we are short Bitcoin here, and in the grains, we are short all the grains, and the grains were pretty flat. They may have indeed found a potential bottom here. Again, I don't predict bottoms or tops, but it looks like they may be in a bottoming formation. But all three were flat to higher, slightly lower. Again, just very, very nondescript. And the same thing goes for cattle and for hogs. Now, the cattle looks like it has found a bottom. Now we're still short. We're short across the board. Okay. But it does look like it has found potentially a bottom. We could see some upward movement from here. It's interesting how the football season has started and the stadiums have opened, yet we didn't see a bigger demand. But in the meantime, so we'll see. We'll remain short. And of course, in the softs, cotton, wow, did it explode on Friday? But cotton is up at new highs again. And of course, we're still long. We're long them all. Coffee up big. Sugar up a little bit. Cocoa up. OJ up. Okay, so, you got to remember it. Look, the trend is your friend. And right now, although cocoa was lower for the week, we still are long. And, this is what we look for. Okay, you look for long extended trends because that's how the markets work. And the hardest part is when markets consolidate, which is why we've struggled, because most markets are in this wicked position of consolidation and not breaking out. They're going X amount to one side and then reversing. So that has been the challenge, but I think that challenge will be answered when we get into the fourth quarter. So let's see what it looks like. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line, Todd Bubba Hort. We're going to step out of here for a break, and we'll be back with more of Bubba's Bottom Line. Well, kids, as we talked about Tradier brokerage, and of course we have our futures and commodities broker, which is Capital Trading Group. Look, at the end of the day, I only give you who I think is the best because I use them. Okay. Now, I have other brokers, but I do use Capital Trading Group, CTG, for my futures trading. They manage my accounts. Okay. They're the only broker that I authorize for letter direction trading. They have the best customer service in an industry that's getting declining customer service. They've got great managed futures products, so check them out. info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. That's info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. And of course, our friends, our physical metals friends and suppliers and partners, Strategic Wealth Preservation, swpcayman.com/Bubba-trading. That's Sierra Whiskey Papa Alpha. Sierra Whiskey Papa, Charlie Alpha Yankee, Michael Alpha November.com/Bubba-trading. Again, that you can take delivery or store with them. They are terrific. And our partnership with Family Farmers Group helps farmers do things that they don't want to do. And that is familyfarmsgroup.com/Bubba-trading. That's familyfarmsgroup.com/Bubba-trading. And the commodity report, Andy Heck, Technomental, the greatest commodity report that there is in this industry. Check it out. You can get it at BubbaTrading.com. and of course our high school program at Patreon, patreon.com/Bubba Trading. It is patreon.com/Bubba Trading. Now let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and of course my commentary. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. Todd Bubba Horowitz with you, and of course I got a lot of things to comment on, but I am going to comment on the cryptocurrency space. It was interesting on Friday. The last Friday every month, I always do the Liz Clayman show, and I was on, and they always call a few minutes early, and I was listening to, I forget his last name, but Brad, who was the CEO of Ripple. And they were talking, and of course, there's only one reason why the government, the SEC, the Federal Reserve, has so much trouble with cryptocurrency. And that is because they cannot manipulate it. They cannot control it. Do you understand that the cryptos may be phony or a bubble? You know, listen, there's two sides to this argument. There are believers and there are non-believers. But I know one thing for sure. The market trades free 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay? There cannot be supply added to the chain, as you can see with the dollar. The central banks around the globe and every major currency continue to devalue their dollars to take away from their middle class people so that they can continue to overspend and do nothing. Okay, so if you look at it, okay, that's why the exchange, the government, the Fed, the SEC does not want cryptocurrencies in the system because they cannot manipulate it. They cannot control it. Now, many of you have complained about gold and silver manipulation. Okay, but there still has to be a two-sided market. But there is no answer to the manipulation of currency when a government or a Federal Reserve or a central bank can simply just add on more dollars. Okay, it is like offering a secondary to a stock. Okay, there is no control. You have no control over that. So that is why they're so against the crypto world, which is real, which is going to exist, and it is very going to get bigger, especially with a lot of the places that are having a lot of troubles, especially in the communist countries, because that's how people are going to get their money out, is through the crypto world. So you can count on it being real. Now, I would not get crazy and put every dime of my money into it. I would always make a small investment of money that I could afford to lose, which I have in myself. Okay, but that is the reasoning behind the trouble and why they don't want you to use it, because they can't control it. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. As always, I thank you so much for being here. And of course, we know the Ryder Cup has been unbelievable. Okay. And tonight we've got football. Well, we got football day, right? I mean, we've had football since Thursday. But tonight's game, tough game. Green Bay against San Francisco. I don't know. Green Bay looks awful. I don't know what San Francisco is going to do. They're at home. I would think that this is just a pizza and a beer kind of play, but I will lay the points with San Francisco because the game did come down to 3. So if you can lay 3 and you play, I would play it. Otherwise, you might want to just watch it, but I don't know. It's too tough to call. Green Bay looks awful. San Francisco, who knows? In the meantime, have a great weekend, everybody. We'll be back with you tomorrow with Bubba's Daily Update. In the meantime, be careful. End of quarter, could be some window dressing. We'll see you back here either tomorrow or next Sunday with Bubba's Bottom Line. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you later.